Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Mike. Oh, you cool? Up, cool?
There we go. All right. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good night. Welcome to another episode of Cigars and Whiskey, the podcast that discusses love, relationships, sex, and dating from a male's perspective. I'm your guy, Ron Coe, and I'm joined by my guys, White Star GB.
We shaking.
We also have super producer Corey Cool in the building, Cool University, and we have some guests in the house tonight. All right. We got a couple of young ladies that are in the building. We wanted to do this show live together, but due to some technical difficulties, we had to do it remote. Um, these two young ladies, they have a very, very interesting story, and they came to Cigars and Whiskey to tell it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Went through some trials, some tribulations in their life. Went away for a little while, but they're back out. Have been resilient, business owners, wives, mothers, and they're here with us tonight. We have Mrs. Australia. I'm sorry, and have Mrs. China in the building tonight. How are you, ladies?
Good.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, happy to have you guys in the house tonight. All right. Shout out to everyone tuned in on YouTube and Facebook. Please remember to share so we can get more people to tap into the conversation. Tonight's drink or whiskey of the night is James Owensby Reserve, straight bourbon. And tonight's topic is going to be love after lockup. All right. I gave you guys a brief introduction, and I know you guys said you really don't want to, but just a couple of things about yourselves today and who you are, just to let the guests know who you are, right? We'll start with you, Miss China.
I'm a mother. I have 2 kids.
Okay.
13 and 5. I'm basically just a single mom, and I just hold it down for them because their dad is away now. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
Getting back into, just
Regular
daily routines and life.
All right.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. We'll get into it. All right. And Miss Estrella.
I'm a mom, a wife, a boss, a sister, an aunt. Just getting home, and this is actually like my first time ever talking about anything related to being locked up or prison or anything like that, because 60% of the people I know didn't know.
60. Wow, okay.
Wow.
That's more.
Maybe 75, but I'm being generous. I'm being generous. Yeah.
How long were you going for?
10 months.
10 months. Okay. And with the trial, how long did everything last?
From 2020, I've been going to court and everything by myself with just like one other person, and I didn't tell my family until 2022 when I knew that it was no way that I was gonna get out of not going away.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. We'll get into it. And Miss China, how long were you away?
I was away for 2 years.
Okay. All right. All right. Before we jump into the show, all right, to my guy White Star GB.
What up?
How was your week, man?
My week was cool. Uneventful. It's nothing really good. anything, nothing crazy happened, but you know, just regular stuff.
Mhm.
Enjoying the fallout from the Risa Tisa stuff, like that's kind of like still happening.
Yeah.
That why the fuck did I get married? Did y'all catch up on any of that stuff? With
No.
Shorty? Nah, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, Shorty was going through it. She was chronicalizing this marriage that she had on TikTok that was like with a dude
Oh,
that
yeah.
was a liar. Yeah. So
My
recently, I think the dust up this week is that Charlemagne said that
Yeah.
she was giving big back energy,
Mhm.
and that was kind of like, you know, she should have knew better because she was a heavier set woman that she couldn't, you know, really. And there's a little dust up about that. Y'all, any thoughts about that or?
You mean
I'm
because she
really
was
go China.
you mean because she was a bigger woman, he was gonna cheat on her?
Well, I think because she was a bigger woman that she was more susceptible to being lied to, that she wanted to believe his lies a little bit more. And a lot of women are speaking out and like, nah, that's to everybody. Like it doesn't matter what size you are, you know. When a woman is, you know, feeling a man, they kind of believe anything he says.
Yeah, I think women believe what they want to believe. Sometimes you get red flags and you feel like you could change the man, or you don't believe it until you see it. It don't matter what size you are or what you look like.
Hmm. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. But
I've been bamboozled.
I somewhat agree, but
Definitely been tricked.
it's
Yeah.
the thing is like if you know, you got a lot of people that tell guys that you shouldn't expect to date a certain type of woman if you don't have money,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
So I guess they're telling women you shouldn't expect to get certain things from guys or get a certain type of guy if you don't have the looks. Is it, you know, is it similar? Is it the same?
No, it's the same. It's just easier for a guy to take that information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Women a little,
Yeah.
you know. So,
Yeah. That's all it is.
yeah, gotta be a little nicer
Yeah,
women.
you
What
gotta
you
be
say
nice
today?
to you gotta be nice to the women, man. That's
Absolutely,
all it is.
absolutely.
I
Yeah.
feel like even if it's a bigger woman or a voluptuous woman, like guys like BBW, so it's the bond, it's the loyalty. Like clearly they were already somewhere else, you know. They didn't have what they thought they had. That's why this one is stepping out on this one, because if the love and the bond is there, then there's no stepping out.
All
No
right.
lies.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
lies.
Yeah. I can get with that.
Yeah, but that was my week, y'all. I was just paying attention to that because it was so many clips and it was like it was hard to keep up with. I
Yeah.
kind of finally caught up with everything. We spoke about it a little bit last week,
Yeah. Yeah.
but then I finally caught up with everything and got the recap, and I was like, this is the mess. Honestly, I think it's a little staged, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, Ron, how was your week, man?
My week was cool, man. Shout out to Choke No Joke. Me and my wife, we were in the city for dinner,
Mm.
and we driving down. I forgot what block that was. I forgot what block it was. So we driving, and my wife just points him out, like, "Yo, isn't that Choke No Joke?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's him." So I honked the horn, I'm like, give him the what up?
Mm.
He come to the window.
I like that.
Yeah. He like, yo, what up? What up? I said, yo, I watch your content. It's good. Keep doing your thing. He was like, yo, what's your name? I said, just say cigars and whiskey.
Mm.
He was like, all right, shout you out. And definitely started following us on Instagram. And he sent the message and shit. Yeah.
What's up, boy? Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
man.
Very
So
cool.
shout out
Very
to Choke
cool.
No Joke, man. Yeah. Yeah, but that was
At
my
least
week.
you know that he outside though, because he has a lot of controversial takes on things, and people like that usually don't be around. Would you consider him as controversial as like an academics, or you couldn't catch academics outside like that? Like, there's no way, right?
Yeah. I think there's a difference. I think that academics is like super suburban, so everybody want to lay hands on them because they think
I can't stand him.
you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what it is more or less. I don't think there's a difference where it's like I don't know if they feel like they could they could press him like that versus academics.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, because I don't think academics don't really say shit that's.
But yo, he was by himself though, right?
Yeah, he was by himself. He was dolly.
Yeah.
But he from the Bronx. You know what I mean? So he from New York. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he was up here visiting or whatever. So yeah, shout out to him.
I'll be watching what I say on this. Like, I don't want to bump into nobody that I was talking shit about. I still want to live a regular life. You know what I mean? Freya, you starting a podcast, right? Like, is there anything that are you thinking about how you're gonna like approach it? Are you gonna be controversial? You're gonna be
I think about cancel
right?
culture. I think about cancel culture a lot.
Right.
I'm pretty much reserved, and I tend to have a person next to me who's not. so
she's the wild card. Unhinged.
Yeah. Like, I'm just naturally reserved. I watch what I say. I avoid confrontation and all that. So I let the person next to me say what they gotta say and take the heat. And behind the scenes, I'm like, yeah.
That's what you was doing.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
That's what you was doing to me.
Right.
How long y'all knew each other?
We met
In
when
Shock.
we was away. We met in Shock.
Shock. Okay. What is that?
Shock.
All right. Let's not jump. Let's not jump into it.
Okay. All right.
Just yet.
All right.
Terrible.
We'll get there. All right. So, shout out to everyone tuned in on YouTube and on Facebook. Please remember to share so we can get more people to tap into the conversation. Again, we are drinking James Ownby Reserve Tennessee straight bourbon whiskey. It is 47 ABV, 94 proof. How much does this run for? 750 mil.
$45.
45 for 750 mil. What are we thinking about it so far?
I like it. It's good. It's a little sweet at first, but it's a little complex on the back end. It tastes a little young, but I like it.
Yeah, very fragrant. When the first sip, I thought it was going to be way sweeter than it actually was. First time, and a little bit sweet or whatever, but cool so far.
Absolutely.
All right.
Nice on the nose too, right?
Yeah, very, very, very fragrant on the nose. All right. So we'll let this one marinate, and we'll get back to it, and we'll let you guys know how it fares. All right. So let's jump right into the show. All right. We'll get to the clips. All right. So, all right. So let's start with you, Straya. Where'd you grow up?
Southside. Jamaica, Queens. Queens get the money.
Okay. China, what about you?
I grew up in Long Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What part?
Nassau.
Oh, you want to keep it general. Okay. You could be like right around the corner from us. We would never know. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. All right. And,
Originally.
huh?
I'm from Lakeview.
What's Lakeview?
You can't. Wait let me put her. Hold on. We gotta. I'm sorry, guys. We have to. Can we? I'm trying. Because we're from Lakeview. So I'm trying to. You know her? I'm sorry.
Who is that? Talking about they know me. They probably do.
What block?
What
block you live in?
block?
Yeah, what block?
Tyler Road. You know that
Yeah,
block
you probably know her.
down Champlain. You make that left and then you make that right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we all from Lakeview, so we all from the same place.
Yeah, that's wild. All right. Okay. Damn. That threw me for a loop.
Yeah. So
So
now we know you. You honorary.
yeah, for
Oh,
sure,
We
that's
for
all
sure.
saying,
honorary because I'm from the town. Y'all ain't shit.
huh?
All right. So Straya, so how was your upbringing?
Nice, great. Two parents, my mother and father, both in my life, siblings, middle child. Went to school, didn't really need for nothing. Uh, got in trouble like normal kids do. Yeah, no, not normal. I mean, I was a rebel, but on purpose, not because I had any, hardships or anything like that.
Okay.
Have a daughter, had her young, but had help. Um, her dad's in her life. My mom helped me. My siblings. I didn't have any like story about growing up.
Yeah.
Pretty normal, yeah, normal kid.
Okay. Okay. And what about you, China?
I had a good childhood, I guess. I lived with my dad till I was like 13, and then I lived with my mom. I had both of them, but separate households. So, you know,
Okay. So
Okay.
you were with dad first?
Christmases, stuff like that. So I was just, but she just wasn't around like that. But I'm the oldest on both sides, so
That's what's up.
Okay.
nothing really too
And and
childhood.
well, I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
Nothing really too crazy during my childhood. Just regular.
Okay. Okay. Um, and Straya, you said that you were a rebel, but
Mhm.
nothing really major or anything like that.
Yeah.
Um, so as a adolescent, as a teenager,
Hmm.
no run-ins with the law or anything like that prior to your situation.
No.
Okay. What about you, China?
No.
Prior to this situation, I had another situation, um, but I never did any time. This is my first time actually going to jail, like behind the cage.
Do you want to elaborate on the situation you had prior to?
The first time,
Yeah.
I was messing with a guy. It's always because of a freaking man. Or maybe just because of me because I'm just stupid. But I was messing with a guy, and um, I had sold something to some random ass person that they was dealing with. That I told them I didn't like. I knew that they was moving funny or whatever, but that wound up being like an undercover or whatever, and then wound up being a sale. And I wound up when I went to turn myself in, they wanted the guy, but the guy ran. They couldn't find him, so I wound up getting a possession charge for that, and they gave me like probation or something
You
like
stood
that.
tall. You
That
didn't
was
you didn't
a
tell.
slap on the wrist, like so.
Hmm?
Okay.
No, so you stood tall. You ain't tell.
I always stand tall.
That's
That's
what's
why I
up. Wow.
did these 2 years.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. And how old were you that first time?
First time I was in 2011, so I was like 25.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
25.
And you said you didn't do any time for that situation. That was just pretty much like a slap on the wrist.
So I had a
Oh,
warrant. They had came. I wasn't staying where I was staying when they had came when they was looking for me. I had a warrant, so they was like, to come turn yourself in or whatever. But I had just had my daughter too. Like she was still young, so I'm like, dang, I don't want to go to jail. I want to be away from my baby. So I'm like, let me go turn myself in. I've never been in trouble before. So they wound up releasing me to probation when I turned myself in. First, they was like $50,000 bail or some crazy shit. I was
Number.
like, oh yeah, wilding. I started crying in there, like the waterworks started coming, and then they was like, all right, I'm gonna release you to probation. So they released me to probation, and then when I went to probation, I took my daughter with me, and they was like so distracted by her. Like I guess they forgot like I had probation or something. So I just never like went. I didn't have nobody to report to. I didn't have an officer. Like it was just like magically just, and by the grace of God, I just was like, okay, they not looking for me, and I'm not
So,
about to go looking for them. They not.
yeah,
I
just
got.
What
kind of got swept under the rug.
I'm like,
was
they had
was the
stuff going on. So.
was the guy that you kind of took the charge for? Was that your daughter's father?
No, he was the man I was with prior to my daughter's father.
Oh, okay, okay, all right, okay. Well, Straya,
Yes.
so you said that you were rebellious as a teenager and as a kid, but you said you had your daughter young.
Yeah.
What age did you have her?
19. Well, like
Okay.
my teens, I just didn't listen. You know, I had a problem with authority and just did whatever I wanted to do. It wasn't until my 20s, and I didn't realize you were talking about like the first offense. So when I was 23, that was my first time I got arrested. You know,
Okay.
I had probation, but I wasn't as lucky as China. I had to go through my whole probation.
Mm.
Okay.
And then in my 30s, I caught another charge and had probation there too. And
So
then
it wasn't like you were looking for trouble. It just you guys kind of like it could have happened to anybody type shit.
no, I just I didn't have a influence. It wasn't like a guy influenced me or anything. Everything I did by myself. So I wouldn't have a witness or someone to tell on me. And if I do it, I gotta take care of that by myself. It was just
You the ones that niggas gotta look out for. You like the sneaky one. You like you the mastermind.
So if you don't want to say, you don't have to. What was your first charge when you said you were 23?
um the same thing like this one. It was a repetitive charge.
Oh, okay.
I did the same thing each time.
Okay. Okay.
And then this time the judge was like, no, that's why your past does matter. My past is what, the judge wanted to give me 4 to 12 years. You know what I'm saying? But this time the judge, probation was out of the question. That wasn't happening at all.
And that was your second charge.
This was my third.
The third charge.
The second charge, I got probation.
Okay.
Yeah. And the
Okay.
first one.
Okay. So all right. So just to, just give a quick recap. Grew up Jamaica, China, Long Island. You had a 2-family household. And can I ask you this? Like, you had your mom and your father.
Well, no, I didn't have a 2-family household, but I grew up with my dad. My mother and father equally raised me. Like they both played a part. It wasn't a situation where I wasn't with my dad or with my mother.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were both equally in my life.
In your life.
So, all right. So you started, you started to create a habit. You had a couple of situations, right? Where did the allure come from to having a certain type of upbringing, having a certain type of household? Where did you end up? How'd you end up in crime?
I guess just realizing that it could be done and noticing a loophole in things and seeing that at that time I thought I could get away with it.
Okay. Okay.
So just basically, seeing that I can, that it can be done, that I can do it.
Okay. And China, sort of the same question for you, but you said you had one prior charge before you went in and did your time, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you pretty much said it was based on a guy, but you said you had a pretty balanced household.
I would say me catching that charge was because of him. But I was already selling drugs before him. Like I was getting money and he was doing something else. Like,
Okay.
I,
Why'd you take that route?
why did I sell drugs?
Yeah.
I don't know why I sold drugs. Like I think I just did it because I could. Like okay, so when I was in high school, I had like I was always younger than everybody, like a year younger than everybody. I graduated when I was 17. So when I was like a freshman, I had my boyfriend was a senior, but he used to go to like this place called Bosie's, like in the afternoon early, like you leave and then they come back when school is over or whatever. But when he used to leave, he was the weed man, so he used to sell weed. But when he used to leave, he used to give me the weed to sell for him while he was going at Bosie's.
Gotcha.
So I was the plug in high school for all of the weed and stuff. So I used to get in trouble for like cutting class and smoking weed and just doing everything that I wanted to do. Or I would leave like I had lunch or something like fourth period, and I'll just be leaving and going for the day. Or I wouldn't come back. I'll just wait for my boyfriend to come from Bosie's and then go to his house and like that. So it started off with me selling weed like at like 13. But then one day I found something in a rice bucket and I knew this lady and I didn't know exactly like what it was or whatever. So I took it to this lady and it was like an eight ball or something like that. So I took it to her, I gave it to her, and she sniffed it, and she gave me $200 for the shit. So I was like, okay, like I don't know what this is, but I got to get some more of this because I don't want nothing to do with this. Like I know, like because I never tried it, never wanted to, never nothing. But once I made that money like that fast, and I had an avenue, like okay, so I know her and she knows X, Y, and Z. I know I could get some more and I could make some money. So on top of like I was doing everything. I was selling weed, I was selling crack, I was braiding hair, like I was babysitting. I was doing everything, like just
Just a hustler.
like I just that's just how I was brought up. Like I don't know, and kept a job at the same time, like all the time. So
The Long Island shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's kind of fast forward from there and go to the day that you got caught. Can you give us like a little semi story of the day that you got arrested and you caught that charge before you went to jail? We'll start with you, Strand.
So it was during COVID, actually, 2020. I was on my way to on a date, first date with this guy who later became my husband. I'm getting ready and I get a phone call and it was a DA. And I'm like, hello. And he said, is this Estrella? I'm like, yeah. And he said, I want to talk to you about when he said a specific entity I already knew. I was like, okay. And then I said, well, it was a Friday night. And then I said, okay, when do you want to see me? And he said, Monday. So I said, all right. I called the lawyer, went to see the lawyer on Saturday. And he said to me, well, because it's COVID, the only thing they're going to go in there, I'm not going to be arrested per se. I'll just get fingerprinted and come back home. So, yeah. With the guy, I tried to cancel the date and he was like, what's going on? And I sound so frazzled. He said, let's just go out for a drink. So when I went, I kind of told him and he was like, I got you. And then, from there.
Did you
First time.
okay. Did you feel any heat prior to?
No, none at all. None.
Nothing. No red flags. Nothing moving different. Nothing.
No, this happened in 2017, and 2018. So I'm chilling, and actually, I have to say this. I changed my life around. I gave my life to God. I'm a woman of Christ, so I'm not even thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? And then out the blue, I get this phone call.
Oh, so you
So
weren't even active. He called you about some old stuff.
yes. Yeah.
Well, you said that you do stuff alone, but you must have had somebody that
No.
put you in the
Mm-mm.
mix. No?
No. Mm-mm. No. No.
So do you, well, how did they come about it? Do you, because I'm assuming
Um,
you, if you can speak about it, if
it,
yeah.
it, it's not that I can't speak about it. It's like, when you really and this is something I'm struggling with, and I don't know if I have like real guilt about what I did. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So to
mhm,
talk about it is a trigger. But
mm.
to make a long story short, there was an audit.
Okay.
Okay. There was
Mhm.
an audit. And an audit can happen 10 years, 5 years, whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So from 2017 and 18 to now 2020, I get a phone call because there was an audit done.
Gotcha.
You get it?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Um, China, can you take us back to the day that you actually got arrested before you caught that charge to do that time? Like, how did the day go? How did it start, and how did it end?
The day that I got arrested for this last charge.
Yeah.
Okay, the day I got arrested for this, well, I was actually waiting for them to come back because my crib had got raided like 5 months prior, but neither one of us was here. So
Okay. When
basically,
you say neither one of us, who are you talking about?
me and my co-defendant, my children's father,
Okay.
one that they was looking for. So
Okay.
neither one of us here. So basically, they found drugs, they found money, and all type of contraband. So they took that, but what they also took was my surveillance system, like all my cameras, all phones, all type of every computer, any device. Like they took everything basically. So 5 months later, they came back and they came and got me because my baby father was still on the run. But when the surveillance system, they basically got me. They got me going like they basically my video of me getting caught is because of me. Like they used my camera,
They
my
use your
video.
own shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, like so when I went there to see my discovery and stuff, like this is my camera from my fucking driveway that I'm fucking watching me go do X, Y, and Z while they on the phone listening or whatever. So they came the next day basically after that phone call was made because I had got something for my baby father to do what he was doing wherever he was at. I got something from the plug to do what he was doing. So they came that next day and got that.
I
But
think everybody's thinking this, so I'm going to ask the question: if you got raided, why'd you go back there?
that's where I live. This is in my house. I,
If you feel the heat,
on top of
you gotta,
that, I wasn't here. So I mean, they're gonna come back anyway, and I knew who they were coming. I knew who they were coming for. It just so happened that because I went out that night and got that from them that night, that's what put me like in it because it was a substantial amount. So now I got two brick charges, and this one is still in the wind. My possession charge because I'm the one who went and got it. So now I gotta hold that.
gotcha. And did your co-defendant ever get caught?
Yeah, eventually. Like I have 40 co-defendants on top of that, so that's why when you said about being silent and all of that, like it ain't no telling. Like I already knew what it was, when I'm in the life. I've been in this life. Like, you know what I mean? I spend the money, I make the money here and there. Like, I'm not full fledged. Like, this is not my operation, but I'm still driving the boat too. So, I just held it down. Like, because I was facing 5 years. They gave me 5 years and a 1 to 3 for conspiracy. So I went to shop. I wound up doing 2 years. I had to do 16 months, and then I went and did 6 months in shop.
So you have your mother, you have your father, you have how many? You have one kid at the time?
2. So, okay. So originally, when I met my baby father, I got pregnant immediately. I'm just skip over whatever. I got pregnant immediately. Same day I got pregnant, he shot 2 people, attempted murder, went away for 7 years. So when he came back home, 2017, that was 2010. 2017, he came home. By 2018, I had my son. So by the end of the year, I was already pregnant, and when he came home, and I had my son. So my daughter's about to be 13, and my son is 5.
So how did your family take it when they knew you had to go in?
They bad, like bad. Like I'm the backbone. Like I hold it together too. I'm the glue too. But they know because I don't never ask for nothing. So now not only am I going away, but because they're still thinking 5 years. Like I had to stay out of trouble to go to shop and to get that program and all this. I didn't qualify for any of that stuff. And that time was just straight. I'll see y'all in 2026.
Man.
So it was everybody had to do all that processing. My mom, my dad, my grandma. Like,
Did they actually know prior to what you were into?
my dad knew a little something. My mom kind of knew a little something.
Gotcha. So, Straya,
Yes.
how did your family take it as when they got the news that you were gonna go away for a little while?
So I didn't tell everyone together. I told like people one by one. And the first it was disappointment because this is now the 3rd time, you know. It was I disappointed them. So that was the first. And then it was like, okay, let's come together and figure this out. My daughter, she's grown. So it wasn't so much of a, it like I was leaving her because she was grown. She lived on her own. The thing is, I was a newlywed at the time also. And my mom, my dad, my siblings, because we're a really tight family. And I had to tell everyone one by one. I had to take my dad out to dinner, tell him, tell my mom, tell my siblings. And they were hopeful that I could get probation because this has happened before. And then each time I didn't tell them until I knew that they were saying 4 to 12 years. So now I had to be like, okay, I'm going to jail, y'all. And everyone just had to come together to try to figure out what's going to happen in my absence. My absence has strengthened some relationships and destroyed some relationships. There's some people that I have a family member looking right now that had no idea. I didn't tell anyone that I didn't think would miss me from that time. And I actually didn't tell anybody because nobody knew what I was doing at all. So for me to even sit there and tell them they're like, going to jail for what? It was more embarrassing to, tell them, oh, from something I did before. So they're like, you still doing that? So it was heartbreaking. I had 20 family members come with me to turn myself in,
Wow.
and it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking.
So you said you went and married or you went and engaged?
I went and married. Oh, so the guy I was dating, he was the first person that knew.
So what was the All right. So you said you get the call from the DA on the first date that you have with this guy. What's the time span in between that day to the day you turn yourself in?
2020 to 2022.
Oh, okay.
We got married in 2021.
Okay.
Yeah. So he married me knowing that I was facing at that time 4 to 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you, you were okay with that?
Crazy like a big back, right? What?
You were okay. You were okay with that. Knowing that you were possibly going away for 4 years to go along with the marriage.
Well, we were setting it up where I was setting up. To be honest, I'm gonna be gone for 4 to 12 years. Let me be married so I can, conjugal visits or any type of. And then because I did a lot of research, I watched 60 Days, and I was driving myself crazy watching jail shows because nobody in my immediate family or my generation been in jail. So I'm like the first, you know what I'm saying? So I know that if you have family, but because I have a grown child, I had to get married in order to stay in a certain perimeter because they can't ship you to, when you state property, they move you wherever they want to move you. Yeah. So when you have a child like China, a young child, they can't really send you to Ohio or anything crazy like that. When you marry or when you have a child, at least you in New York.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Okay.
Married
Is that for men and women?
I don't know about the men, but I know. Right. And for the women, well, when we talk about shock, it's a whole different. It's a whole different avenue.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys both go in, right? So China, you said that you had to do a certain amount of time, then go to shock. Is that correct?
Yeah, because I had 5 years. Like you're not eligible for shock unless you're like 36 months. That's something like that. Like you gotta be like 30 years. Whatever the case may be, I had to have time in, so I had to do 16 months before I was even eligible to go.
Okay, so Straya, in your situation, were you able to do shock right away?
I was able to do shock right. Well, I went to Rikers first and then Bedford. It's a waiting list, but I didn't have to do time because they reduced the 4 to 12 to a 1 to 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Before you get the shock, how's that experience? You guys can choose who goes first.
Well, I'll say mine is easy. Rikers wasn't what I expected, but I never, by the grace of God, I never went into general population, So the only thing I could say about Rikers is that it was dirty. The food, that was the food, and it was dirty. That's it. But I met a lot of women that when I left, we cried. We did. I bonded with a lot of women in Rikers. And then in Bedford, I found myself getting comfortable, so to say, because it was just it was chilling. I found myself, I had commissary, I had to visit because Bedford wasn't so far. So every other day I had a visit, I had commissary. And I found myself like, okay, I'm chilling here. I can get in some trouble. And then again, by the grace of God, they was like, okay, we're going to ship you out. So I didn't have any bad experience in Rikers or Bedford.
Okay. So China, you did a little bit more time in outside of the shock program. So how was your experience during those first like 16 months before you went to shock?
So first I went to the county. The county fucking sucks. Yeah, I know about Nassau County. It's the worst county ever. And I hated it. I was happy though because Originally, when I got locked up, my bail was $200,000, but I wanted to bail out because I had 40 co-defendants and I didn't know who was telling on me. So I wound up bailing out, and they gave me some time. So I wound up getting sentenced January 5th, 2022, to go in and do my time. But
Okay. Well, just so we know, what's the gap between that time and January? How
so
long were you able to stay out on bail?
bailed out April 5th, 2021. They gave me to, and then I kept going to court, so they gave me to January to come April.
Oh, so about 8 months,
April
9
time.
months.
They wanted
Okay.
wanted to hurry up and get me in, but I kept making on my court dates, so they let me start.
Okay.
But
All right. So what was your journey from the county once you were in from the county? Where'd you go? Like,
the county, I thought I was gonna die in the county. I didn't eat for like 11 days, like when I went back in there.
why? Was there a hunger strike
Like,
going on?
like it's like poison. This peanut butter and jelly meat or tuna fish me to death in the county. Like, that's it. But once I left the county, Bedford, they told me to pack up and go upstate. 25 days they held me after I got sentenced. So I was happy that I went like straight up, and I didn't stay in the county long. And I was only in Bedford for like 3 weeks maybe, and then they shipped me to Albion to do my time. So
Okay. And how was that experience?
Bedford was funny because like in reception, like first of all, you can't get a package for 30 days. So like you just there waiting, like you gotta barter stuff like me. So you know me, I'm crafty.
You
So
got you
I
got
was
you
ready
kind of got to explain to everybody. Like when you say get a package, everybody doesn't know what you mean when
to
you say that.
get in a package. Like, okay, you need your food, you need your soap, like your canned goods or your tuna fish or whatever you can get, because you can get food to like make, like they got microwaves up there. They cook in the microwave. They don't have hot plates, so you got to get everything like to basically that you're able to cook in the microwave or prepare or whatever. Like just food. Like your family could send you food packages or whatever. You can get up to 35 pounds of food or like 40 pounds of food that they can send you. Snacks and all type of things that they can send you. And then you can get your clothes, your sneakers, because when you go upstate, like you wear sweatsuits, or you get your chains. They in there like it's college for real. Like it's a fashion show.
Oh, you can wear jewelry, all that up there.
Things is going on.
Well, no, for a certain value.
See, I mean, when you was in Bedford, like Bedford is like kind of different. I mean, like they was in there, but see, Bedford is a maximum facility, but that's the reception facility. So I got transferred to a medium after Bedford, but it's more like laid back. It's more chill. It's more open. Like you get out, go to the yard, you go to the gym. You just they like make it the up north that you go up there because when you go up there to do time for a long time, it is more comfortable to do your time upstate, basically.
Did you guys ever run into each other at Bedford?
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 So the difference between shock and the Albions, the Bedfords, the Rikers, the county, Nassau County. What's the difference?
It's
Either one
military.
of you guys can.
It's military. It's more because you are getting out in 6 months. So they make you work for your time. So you are standing all day. There is no sitting down. There is no laying down until lights out. You have 3 minutes to shower, 8 minutes to eat. You are punished when you don't pay you when you don't listen. They follow you with a chart to monitor. You have to wear uniform and it has to be ironed a specific way. Your shoes have to be shined. It's yes, sir, no, sir. You have to introduce yourself as an inmate. You need permission for everything,
Mhm.
for every single thing. And from 5:30 in the morning, you are on your feet until 8:30 at night, and you are marching everywhere.
Wearing corners for no reason.
It's like military times 10. You're doing push-ups. They can just say, they do, you do whatever they want. So they'll say, hey, everybody just stand, and you're standing in your front of your cube, and they're like, drop down and give 10. And you're like, or take your mattress and hold it up over your head just for an hour.
Yeah. For an hour. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Oh wow.
And if you drop it, 10 more minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there is no phone.
But you endured all that to shave time off of your.
Yes.
Okay. So it was a give and take. You knew that you were going to have a harder time, but less time.
Right, but they make it so you can either give up, or like you sign out, or you get in trouble to the fact where you get kicked out, and now you got to go back to wherever you came from to do the rest of your time.
Were you penalized if you have to go back? Do they penalize you?
You go back, you do your time.
Do your time. You just okay. All right.
Yeah, you do your whole bid. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You just wasted those whatever.
I would do my bid if that would never happen to me again. But if I wouldn't, knowing now what I know, I would just do my bid.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I wouldn't do shopping.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
wow. Both of y'all feel like that. Okay. How much time did you save, Estrella?
2.5 years. Well, I had a 1 to 3, and I did 2 months. So most of my time.
That wasn't worth it?
No, what you go through, like, even eating, you have a certain time to eat, but you got to eat all your food. And if you don't eat all your food, they either make you kneel and eat or stay. It's horrible.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
It was terrible.
First of all, you have to wake up at 5:30 in the morning screaming.
You got to scream, or they're screaming at you?
Everybody.
You have to wake up and scream.
They wake up, it's a whistleblower. You
Yeah.
gotta wake up, screaming, put your robe on, stand there at attention. Like every morning, shit for 6 months straight, and every morning I still was like, I ain't never gonna get used to this shit. We still here. I fucking hate it.
And then you have 8 minutes to get dressed. So when you wake up, you scream.
To get dressed, to use the bathroom, brush your teeth, change your clothes, make your bed, and be out that door for recreation, for your physical training in the morning. Snowing, raining, it doesn't matter. We about to be mopping the puddles with our body rolling around on the ground, all type of fucking crazy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, for me, I knew how to. So I knew how to.
He beat the system.
Beat the system with the working out in the morning, because I had a PT pass. So because they make you run. They'll be like, after you eat, they'll say run. So now after you finish eating, now you got to run. They'll say run to the brown door.
The brown door and back.
And I would walk. I have my PT pass.
What's a PT? What's a PT pass?
Like, you don't have to do physical therapy.
Oh, okay.
Not fitness. You
were hurt. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, because so when you up in the morning, you waking up at 5:30 to do PT, rain, sleet, snow, cold, whatever. But if you have a PT pass, because the PT is like whatever, you're doing push-ups, you're doing jumping jacks, you're doing a whole bunch of stuff early in the morning. But if you have a PT pass, there's certain things you don't have to do.
Don't have to.
Gotcha.
Right.
So a PT pass is in between getting out of certain work and going home.
It was getting out of
going back to regular jail.
What do you mean?
Well, if you had a PT pass, you get out of some activities. But if you were too hurt,
pass, I wouldn't have to do when they tell you to run, I would, instead of running, I would walk. Or if they say do push-ups, I would just go like this. So you still have to do something, but not not what they said.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
So me, I didn't have a PT pass, so I had to do everything. And then they wound up putting me in charge, and they really didn't like that, because they did not like me. But because of how I was, like, they didn't have no choice but to respect everything that I was saying. Like they didn't put me in charge for no reason. Because when you're there, they put somebody who has to be in the front of the platoon, like who has to change, like, you know, direct the platoon, and we all gotta turn the whole freaking group one way, and you gotta left and right and all of this, like, so somebody has to walk in the front with the flag.
Gotcha.
And there's no, so when China was talking about packages, there are no packages there. There's no snacks, there's no commissary. You know, you can have a visit every other week and a phone call every other week for 10 minutes. So it's not, there's no leisure time at all. You're not eating potato chips and you're not getting commissary. You're not doing none of that stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, all right, you're there.
Right.
Okay. You're a newly married woman.
Mm-hmm.
How's your relationship going?
While I'm there. Sorry.
Yeah, when you're in shock, how is your relationship going at this point? Your marriage.
Well, so Shock is 10 hours away from New York, from the
Mhm.
city. So I wasn't able to get my, you know, daily visits like I used to. So it
Mhm.
was like once a month he tried to come down. You know, it was strained, you know. We communicated through letters, snail mail, because we couldn't really use our tablets like that. So it was strained with a promise that, you know, I'm coming home in 6 months. It
So,
was tough.
well, you guys, I'm assuming you guys came to an agreement knowing that the circumstances were going to change as far as your communication,
Hmm.
where it's like being in regular, he could come visit you on a regular basis.
Right.
And now that you're going to this program, you're not going to see me as much. You're not going to hear from me as much. And it's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
so he agreed. He agreed the same way you agreed to that,
Yeah. I
or
went
did you
in
take this?
knowing that I wasn't going to see, and that not only him, like my whole family. I went in
Yeah.
knowing that I wasn't going to see or speak to anybody. Like it
Okay.
would be a period of time before anybody heard my voice.
Okay. Okay. And China, at this point, when you're in the program, what is your relationship status? Because you have your significant other is your co-defendant, correct?
He's not my significant other when he left me to take them charges.
Okay. Was there someone else? So did you have anybody to do the bit with you, or you did it?
I had family, you know, I had people who wanted to be there, be around. I had my mom, my dad, sisters, aunts, cousins. I had a
But
lot.
no like love interests or anybody like that.
Nobody. No, no love.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right.
I had
So
a girlfriend while I was in there,
I'm sorry. Say that again.
though. I had a girlfriend in jail.
Yeah, I was waiting
Oh,
for you to
really?
Oh, really?
Okay. Were you prior to going, did you go that way,
Yeah,
or you went both ways, or
yeah.
that happened as you got into prison?
I've been like this forever.
Okay. All right. So, if you can speak on that, how is it having a relationship with somebody that's there with you that you do have access to? Were they in the shock program, or they were in prior to going
No,
to shock?
they were in regular prison,
Okay.
but
And
it's not it's not all what it's cracked up to be. It's too much politics in prison. Like it's too much. It's too stressful. I wouldn't do that again. Ever.
could you, just for the people, that are listening, could you elaborate? If you don't, that's fine.
elaborate as far as
Like as far as the politics, as far as having a relationship,
okay.
and
So when you go to a female prison, like all of the dykes is what we call them, dykes, like studs or whatever you want to call them. I don't want to,
Mhm.
but that's who like gets all the attention. So like it's just a lot. Like it's a lot. It's just a lot. It's too much to even go into.
So maybe your girlfriend had other girlfriends. Is that what you're saying?
No, she didn't have other girlfriends. But when we got into it or whatever, she started to. That's another thing. Like people will hop around and they'll be sneaking around, like doing funny stuff, and then all of a sudden, shit is just weird. Like, but it'll be the same people that you be kicking with, and all of a sudden they over here doing God knows what, walking around a little track together, sneaking off and going to the gym, or sneaking off and going to chow, like on the movement. Like it's just jail bullshit. That's it.
So were you in love with your girlfriend
I
that you had
I
that
did.
was with you in
I,
jail?
lo- I loved her. I loved her.
Okay.
That's my. She's about to come home too. She's gonna come home in like 3 weeks.
Y'all gonna be together?
Right around the corner.
Yeah, great question.
Are y'all gonna be together?
No, we're not gonna be together.
Oh,
Friends. Friends?
Yo.
There's somebody in the back.
Someone in the back.
But what I learned quickly in there, and I'm just piggybacking off of the gay,
Yeah.
you know,
Go ahead. Yeah.
is like you really can't talk and be friendly with everybody because you don't know who talking to who, or she trying to make her jealous, she trying to make her girl jealous by talking to you. I kind of got into something at Chow one time in Bedford where a girl offered me her extra cookie, and my homegirl was like, "Don't take it." Like, she was like, "Don't take it. I'm telling you right now, don't take it," because she said that's a setup, And I know you can't be too friendly when you new. You can't be too friendly when you're pretty. You can't borrow. You can't lend out. Somebody takes something from you, you gotta really be like, "Yo, give me my shit." Even if you're not that type of person, you can't let somebody, punk you. You can't be prison poor and you can't be a jail junkie. It's just certain things carry respect. I think what saved me was that I don't smoke cigarettes and I always had cigarettes. So that was my, you know what I'm saying? Here. But you can't be friends with everybody. I really wasn't friends with any gay girls, not to be funny, but I didn't want to get in no problems, you know? I didn't want nobody thinking that I liked their girlfriend or that they girl liked me. So I really stayed away from anybody who played me too close or who was gay because I didn't want to get in no drama.
So nobody. I'm assuming you got pressed though.
Yeah,
Like,
I
okay.
got pressed. Like I got a few letters and stuff like that, but I made it known, like, I'm not gay. And I was the one in China would tell you I always have my Bible. So I,
Mhm.
I yeah, I had my Bible all the time. So nobody really, I had my Bible and cigarettes.
Yeah, because she
You
used
know,
to be away because she was used to be in church. So she used to tell me go away, come back because she in
yeah.
church.
But when the first time I met China, she came into like my squad area and she didn't have anything because shock takes all your stuff away. So
Everything.
I was like, "Hey, you want some deodorant? You want?" And the first thing I said to her was like, "Yo, I'm not gay. Like, I'm not gay. I just I see another I see another sister coming in my squad because at the time shock is full of like white chicks. So I was like, yo, do you need soap? Do you need deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrush? And I had to say off jump, like, yo, I'm not gay. I don't like you. I'm not trying to get with you or nothing like that. Because you got to set that barrier because girls will think that you're trying to get their girlfriend.
Wow.
Is that
Okay.
what you meant by politics?
I came in shock on demon time. I came in like, I'm not playing with none of y'all, nobody. I don't care what they talking about. I'm not here for that. I'm here to do my time and get the fuck out of here. Like, that's it. I was trying to stay out the way. That was the hardest shit I ever had to do. I'm talking to you crazy, like,
Okay. Question. You don't subscribe to the alternative, right?
I used
But
to. Yeah, okay. Go ahead. Many years ago.
okay. All right. So I'm assuming there are male um correction officers.
Hmm.
Is there any of that commingling going on?
Well, in shock is males in there too.
You guys are like co-ed when you guys are training and doing PT?
Yes, when we're training and when we're eating.
Really?
Yeah. But
Wow.
you're not supposed to, look at anybody, but girls in there found a way. You kite letters, you take
then
send it under the tray, or you throw it. Or,
losing their
you do
M's.
a little wink. Why you gotta there was a lot of mixing and mingling.
So people were probably doing a thing inside there?
No,
Inmate?
you couldn't get that far. Not in shock. You couldn't
Okay.
get
But it used to be like, like with me. So I was in front of the platoon. So they used to yell out my name, like, because when they yell in cadences and stuff, sometimes like say if she was the squad leader, they would yell her last name, like singing the cadences. And they'll yell my last name singing the cadences. So we our dorm used to be across from the rejection dorm, like everybody who got kicked out the program and who didn't quit and who was about to go home and they just waiting to be on the draft so they could go home, like the troublemakers. I don't know why our dorm was right in front of theirs. So that's what it was. So when we go out, like going to chow and stuff, they used to be screaming my name, like, I'm not gonna yell my last name, but they used to be screaming out like they
Mm.
be embarrassing, like doing stuff to, like, and then the girls used to be like, oh, why do they know your name? Like, trying to get you in trouble saying like you talking to the guys and stuff like that. Because if you get caught talking to the guys, you lose your program. You're out. You're going back.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that's like
You can't do anything. You can't look at them. You can't talk to them. You can't do anything. When they're walking past us or like, and we're at a standstill, we gotta about face and face the opposite direction every time they come in. When they come in, we gotta turn around, left face, right face, about face, whatever, like to
Mhm.
the pass. When we
Okay.
pass them, they have to do the same thing because we're the only females on the compound. It's 50 of us and it's 700 males. So like
All right.
we're
wow.
really protected though. Like we're like guarded. Like,
Yeah.
but they. It's just a crazy, crazy process. But we really
So
out there with them doing everything that they're doing. Like
so
when
Quick
are
question.
go ahead.
Estrella, you were saying that
now I
when China came in that she was the only sister in there, so that means it was predominantly white.
it was so shock is a drug, is really like a Willard, like a drug treatment program. And you have
Oh,
to really have like a non-violent crime to go there. So it's really people with drugs, DUIs, or money crimes, white collar crimes. And I don't want to like cancel culture, but a lot of the people there were like drug addicts. They had opioid addiction or heroin, or like severe DUIs.
gotcha.
It was really 5 black girls,
Okay, all right.
and the
There you
other
go with that loophole again.
Mm.
the other 3 got kicked out because you're not going to be talking to us crazy. You have to have a real thick skin to have somebody yelling in your face, telling you what to do is really hard. Like China will tell you, I had a hard time. I almost got kicked out 10 days before my graduation.
you had a hard time.
Okay.
It's really hard to contain your composure. So there was really
So
not.
your bond was really strong because it was y'all two. Like
Yeah.
y'all both with each other's, support system.
And then they separated us because they knew that we were stronger together, and then they separated us.
Gotcha.
You know,
It used to be fights over the which way the fan is gonna point at nighttime. Like, remember that? Fighting over which way, who wants the fan on them. Like, I mean, over everything.
I don't know, like when I'm imagining, like I'm picturing life, like the movie.
Yeah.
It's like like y'all had to go out and work a little bit, and you know what I mean, like all y'all were together, like yeah.
We had to pick weeds when
we had jobs. We were picking weeds out the ground. Let me tell you something. Geese, geese. There was a season where geese would come and crap all over. And who you think picking that up? Who you think shoveling? Who you think is doing the upkeep of the whole facility? Doing the garbage, cleaning the toilet, working at the mess hall. I never had to do the mess hall.
I worked at the
PT mask.
My whole bid, I worked at the mess hall for 16 months. Until I went to shop, I was in the mess hall the whole time. 5 o'clock in the morning to 1 o'clock in the morning. I fed them hungry, incarcerated individuals every fucking day. But back to the friggin' thing, they had us out there cutting a bush with safety scissors.
Like mowing the
They were trying to be funny though. They were trying to be funny.
No, that's how you really had to do it.
Wow. Okay.
Trimming the grass with safety scissors.
Yeah. So it's almost like a scared straight program. Almost like they really tried to
though. It's not scared.
Scared straight was like scaring you to get in there, but this one was like, all right, yo, listen, we're gonna give you this chance to get y'all up out of here, but we're gonna torture you for like a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta earn. The guys had it worse because you could put your hands on the guys.
Yeah, they
really.
You can put your hand on the DIs can, and you better not fight back.
Oh wow!
They can't touch us.
Yeah, you can't. You could put your hands on the guys.
Yeah, the guys get touched.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, all right. So, Stray, you're in. You're married still. Did you ever get any? What is your husband saying to you? What is he communicating to you about the whole situation? Is he just rolling with it? Is he stressed? Is he frustrated? What's his mood?
He never really expressed the stress. Like my family, everybody tried to keep that away from me. They never like really told me anything like that was going home or anything like that. It wasn't until I actually came home that I see the impact of my incarceration with like how it impacted relationships. I have an aunt that I was really close to, and I haven't spoken to her at all. My mother, who we weren't the greatest, but now we're like so close, and my husband. It really put a strain on our relationship.
Okay, well, let's just rewind a little bit. Okay, so of course you're away. He misses you, and you're getting to the point where you're finishing up your time and you're gonna come home. So I'm assuming there's excitement there. So he can't wait to have you back home.
Right.
So where does it go from him being happy to have you back to having a strain on your relationship?
I think, and I'm only assuming, I think, when someone's gone for 10 months, you are used to being alone, probably,
Okay.
And then coming home and then just trying to get in the move or the swing of things or just getting back to normal. Because for me, it took me a very long time to adjust. Like even still now, if I hear a whistle, I get triggered, or the sound of keys. I get triggered. I even sit a certain way because there's a way that you have to sit. You can't, or lean on a wall. To just come home and try to get back into things, it changed. it changed how we used to be before. You know.
And how was that? Just
Oh my gosh. Can you see who's watching this? That's a real question. Can you
no.
see?
Hold on.
What you looking for?
Let's see if we can see.
I want to see the list before I go any further. I want to see the list.
I know you lying.
No,
I'm not comfortable with it, then yeah, because you can still watch it after, so.
Yeah, it's it changes. You know,
What would be his name? Because I could see the people. Or her name or whoever you don't want to see.
Oh. 007. It ends with 007.
No. All right. Shout out to the people that's here. Shout out to Sharon Bailey. Whoever's prayed up. Aries, my name also.
All right, I put it in the chat.
Huh?
I put it in the chat what to look out for.
Oh no, that person's not there.
What changed is there's distance. It's a lot of distance, and it's a lot of guilt pudding, you know. And then, you know, normally a woman in my household, the woman was the woman of the house. You know, I got this, I got this, I got this, I got this. So when you're gone for 10 months, that role can be diminished. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess you would have to expect that though. But go. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, if you feel that way, but when does it come back? Or when do you allow space for it to be back hours again?
But my thing is, if y'all were married for 2 years, right? It wasn't really that much of a time that y'all were together anyway. So it's kind of like it should be more elastic at that point, right? Like it should be more malleable.
It's still moldable, actually. Like the way your structure is, maybe.
It's moldable if you have the people willing to. Marriage is a job, right? I get that. But you know what hurts your marriage is in the beginning, it's already something that affected the marriage. You understand that? When I met him, I had a issue from day one.
And he knew this.
Yeah, he knew this though.
And I never said, you know, hey, and I didn't say go. When I heard the numbers 4 to 12, I said go. Save yourself. You know what I'm saying? And he said, okay. To the point where the day I was going in, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go for 10 months. You know, if you gotta do what you got, I don't want to know about it. He said
to that last day.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What you saying? You said you gave him a green light?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
For 8 months? For 10 months?
When I was going in for the
somebody can get a girlfriend in that. He could start a whole new relationship.
No, what I'm saying is when you go into 1 to 3, no one's telling you it's just gonna be. They say, okay, well, state year is 10 months, right? But you never know. You in there. And then, you know, I was like, listen, I'm being realistic at the end of the day. Not to say he couldn't wait or he shouldn't, but you never know. You never know. So it was just like, listen, I'm going in. Whatever happens, I don't want to know about it. Don't embarrass me. And when I come home, whatever you was doing, I don't want to hear. It's done. And he was like, 10, come on, you bugging. It's only 10 months. It's only a year. But coming home, and this could only be my situation, is a guilt. Like, you know, when you were gone, or, you know, well, I was home alone. Is a very it's strained. My incarceration put a huge distance between us.
I don't. Well, it's your relationship, but I would just say from a man's perspective that if you made a decision, if he wanted to take the ride with you, then he knew what he signed up for.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming you're saying that. But all right, so but to you, he carried on. He might have carried on like you said he was able to.
I don't know.
And
I don't care. I don't want to
oh,
think
you
about
don't know. Oh,
I
that
don't.
wasn't the case.
I don't
Or
know. That never came up. I
all right,
never
so
asked.
is the strain him feeling like he he kind of did too much for the situation, or the fact that he had to hold up his life?
I don't know what the strain is on his side. I
Hmm.
know for me, I feel that there is a void. I know that we aren't, you know, what we were. And you
Well,
would think,
that's you don't think that's fine though, because you got you're you had a traumatic situation.
mhm,
I've I haven't necessarily been to prison myself, but I've had close people to me that have been there, and I trooped it out with them,
mhm,
and people come back different when they go away.
mhm,
They're different people when they when they they go away. And I'm
mhm,
not saying it's necessarily like terrible or bad, but they're just different. They're not the
yeah,
same as when they
mhm.
go in. So um I don't know exactly. If you don't want to elaborate, you don't have to elaborate.
No, I don't even know how to elaborate. If you like, you, I don't know how to elaborate. I don't have the answers. I just know that we are different. We are, and yes, I did come home a different person because I experienced a
Mhm.
life changing that changed my entire life. That changed my thought process and how I move. Period. I just, when you're gone and you're writing these letters, and it's like, oh, when I come home and it's this and this and this is really different.
Let me ask you this, all right? All right. You went away. You
Hmm.
did the bid by yourself. You had to be in it by yourself. Did you come back
Hmm.
as more of an independent woman versus a married woman because you had to do your all this the last 11 months by yourself? Did you kind of block him out and you like figure you have to do everything by yourself?
No, I came back saying everything I said I would do in the letter. Getting to the point of going away, our whole marriage was based on going to court and what we're going to do here and setting up for my departure. That was our whole concentrate. The marriage, the engagement, we were all talking
Mm.
about court and jail and this, and now that we're home with nothing to concentrate on.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
y'all two.
that's what I was gonna say. I don't want to try to solve your
We
shit
don't
in the
have
next,
the baby. We're like
you
empty
guys like trauma
nesters.
bond or something like that. It's like, all right, you were going through something and he felt like he was jumping in, and now that the shit is over,
Right.
is
So it's like,
is the relationship like, all right, what do we need each other for now?
yeah, I don't mean it in that way. Like, what do we need each other for? But when, it's like our child is out the house now. Our
Mm.
focus was, every conversation was based on the lawyer or this, or well, let's go away because we don't know what next year looks like. Everything was based off of my departure. And now that I'm home, it's like, now what?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a huge disconnect. And then he said something to me that just made me think about it. I never met you without this.
Mm.
I never met, remember my first date, I got that phone call.
Yeah.
So he was like, I never met you without this. Or like even your family, because your family, it was all about, Straya, what we doing with Straya. It was all about that. Our whole relationship was based off my court case.
Mm.
So, and the
Wow.
fact that he couldn't even tell his family. I told him, you better not tell your family. So he went through a sadness, a depression. He went through something as well. He was home alone for 10 months without his wife. And, his mother had no idea, like, what's going on with you? You're sad, you're not talking, you're not coming around. So he went through something. So it's just,
They say when someone goes to jail, everybody goes to jail with them. That's the case.
yeah.
Where did he tell his parents that you were?
I don't know.
Oh, wow, okay.
Because I never like was over there all the time. It would be like like a holiday or something like that. So I don't know what he told. They do not know.
Okay.
Like a lot of my family members don't know.
So
They didn't.
now, right?
Until now, I had to tell them because I just appeared and it looks crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. So China, how was your coming home situation?
Like,
You were pretty much single at the time?
yeah.
Okay. And who did you come home to, and like what did you come home to? How was that transition from being locked up for, what was it? 2 years?
Yeah. So when I left, my son was 2 turning 3. And when I came home 9 days after his 5th birthday. So
Okay.
it was just like, it was like, because when I left, he like, when he seen me, he was looking at me like, I know who this lady is.
Really?
Oh wow.
Like, so he came, he was like, he was scared, but he was like, I know who this is. Like, it's my mom. So it was just a transition. Like, I've really been away from my kids, like, for this long. And then I didn't have them come see me because I didn't want them to see me like that. So I really didn't see my kids for 2 years.
Oh wow.
China, when people say that, I've heard that often. Can you elaborate on that when you say that you don't want them to see you like this?
It's just behind the cage. It's just I don't know, like behind the cage, like just in that whole environment. It's just dirty. Like I don't want them going through metal detectors and
Okay.
getting frisked down, and they gotta change this and do all of this. Like I just didn't want them to even walk through those gates and see their mother there. Like when they
Gotcha.
saw me again, they see me back in the house waiting for them. Like I never. Like I just didn't want them to see me in that light, like in state green, stated down.
You think it's selfish when people have their kids come up there and see them?
No, I
You don't
mean,
have any judgment on it. It just wasn't for you.
it's of me to like not let my daughter come see me at least, but I still didn't want her to see me.
Oh, okay.
So how long did it take to get like reacclimated to your kids and them getting reacclimated to you, to know who mommy is if they haven't seen you, or
Just as
something
soon
like
as
that?
they walk through the door and see me,
Okay.
my daughter wasn't having anything. She was waiting for me. First of all, I surprised her because she didn't even know that I was in the house. So she
Mm.
walked in the room and she was talking to my brother and she was like, yeah, so my mom's about to be here. So I was standing behind her, like she didn't see it until she turned around. So he was like, someone was that behind you. And then she turned around and she just screamed like the scream that she made when she seen me, it was just like my mom is back. Like everything is regular. Like mommy's back. Everybody was just waiting for me to come back home. And that's it.
Right.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I never left.
Okay. So you get home, um, you get back with your kids. Where's your head at? What are your next moves? Did you have any plans before you were released of what you were going to do or what your life was going to look like after you Not out of prison.
Yeah, I had a couple of job offers and things like that. A couple of them fell through. And then so then I tried to apply for Uber or Instacart, DoorDash, stuff like that. So now when this background check comes back, I can't even drive for DoorDash, Uber, nothing. And I'm like, this is
Wow.
never had to go through anything like that ever, getting a job in my life, because I've always had a job. But now that I got this felony with this conspiracy, it's like that should have stopped everything. And it's kind of frustrating. So on top of that, I have to have a job that coincides with my kids going to school, and me picking them up in a daycare situation. So I have to worry about that, and I have to worry about all these other things. So everything has to coincide. So if I'm not working from home, or working overnight or something like that, which I don't want to punch anybody's clock. But if I'm not doing that, it's nothing's out here for me. They're not saying yes to me at this.
But I know that
Can I ask you a question?
Because it's not supposed to be like that, because of the laws and shit that's out with the equal opportunity and all this stuff. They're not supposed to hold that against us. And there's a lot of felon-friendly jobs, but a lot of jobs is really I can't do anything.
China, the background checks say the crime.
When my one for I think it's DoorDash or Uber, whichever one it was. But it says it'll be marked around in consideration, I think it said, or something like that. But then when it says in consideration, it's really they're not considering a damn thing. You're already a dub when you're in that red box.
But it don't say what you do, right? It says what you do.
Consideration, and when you scroll under it says because of this part. It has specifically the conspiracy, and it's not even the possession, it's the conspiracy part that's the main focus of my background check. I don't know why that's really stopping me, but it is.
Wow.
So here's the thing with me. I went on a job interview.
She's hilarious.
Last week, right? And they asked, have you ever been convicted? I put no. I don't know why I did that. And then, I get the job. The best interview ever. They send me an offer letter. I open the email and they send an offer letter, and then it goes, by signing this, you are consenting to a background check. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what the background check looked like. You know what I'm saying? I tried to do a background check on myself, paid for one. So that's why I'm asking you, what can you email me? Can you show me your thing later?
Information.
Because I want to know what.
Yes, I've been convicted. I got a felony.
Because I don't even know how to have that. So now, right? I'm supposed to start on Wednesday, but I already gave them the consent to do the background check.
You better just go until the report come back.
No,
It might not come. It might,
might not come back in 6 months.
Yeah. I'm not going there, and then they'd be like, "Excuse me, can we see you in the office?" Okay. And I'm just gonna sneak out the back door. I'm not gonna be embarrassed like that when they escort me out. I'm not doing that. So I want to know,
you don't listen to me. You don't listen to me. You ask me,
it's not a fingerprint. They do it by
a fingerprint. Why do you think just because background checkers doesn't mean fingerprint? It doesn't mean they will take your social. So bring your background check up just like this. You sign consent. Those once they ask them 4 digits, they better verify your stuff. That's how it is when they do a background check. When they run your credit, all of that. That's it.
So they know your crime and your felony.
They're gonna know your crime. They're gonna look it up because they have to coincide. They do background checks because say where you're working at is a money establishment, or say I stole something out the restaurant, or I stole from the cash register, and I went to jail for it. So me going to work at another restaurant, they're not gonna let me work at the restaurant because they know I was stealing out the cash register.
Yeah.
That's why they do the background checks, and that's why they're gonna look at your crime and put your stuff in here. So that's up to the establishment if they want to hire you or not based off of what your background history is.
Now, could you hold out hope that, all right, let's just say your background check comes in about 3 weeks and you're in there and you're knocking it out and everybody loves you there? Do you think that, can you hold out hope that maybe your personality and maybe who you are can outrun your
I
past?
tried. What I did was they, and you know what? I looked at that question for a long time and I just still checked no. I don't
Why?
think, I don't know. I don't know. I think about that. I'm not ready for that conversation. Like, even if they say, hey, so we see it, what happened? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. What happened in the crime? What did you do? What am I gonna say?
Who do you speak to? Like, who do you help? Who do you speak to? Like, who's your sounding board for coming home? Like, do you have siblings?
I have siblings. So the thing is, I speak to China a lot because she's the only person that can actually relate to this type of and my mother-in-law who can relate to this type of situation. My siblings are very supportive, have faith, don't give up, but you don't have to walk around with the F on your back. You don't have to, and I didn't realize how much that is a stigma. Yeah, they make it easy in New York, but you still got to sit there and be like, yes, I have a felony. I did this. You still got to face that. Whether they give you the job or not, you still have to stand and talk about what you did.
You want to keep your past in your past. You don't want to keep reliving it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then you are judged. At the end of the day, you're judged. You did that? Wow. You did so? Wow. You did that? Okay. All right. I see the looks. You know what I'm saying?
So for you, Straya, when you were reaching the final point of being released, what were your plans before you actually got released?
Well, I have a business, right? That is Ian Company. I sell hair and skin products. Before I went in, it was booming. So that was my plan. I'm gonna go home and focus on my business. But when you are gone for 10 months, when your website says we are temporarily closed for rebranding, and then you come back, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. And I want to say hard, it's difficult. And then you got to ask that question, well, where were you? Because I just reappeared. I reappeared. And at the end of the day, and then with parole, you got to show that you either working or you in school. You have to just, you can't just be
You
sick.
can't just say I have a business, right?
Right.
You got to have something out there.
Right. So, and then just to feel like you have some type of purpose. I'm just trying to get back to doing something. That felony is a stamp. It's a stamp, man.
Wow. All right. So you get out. So I'm assuming you're rebranding you back to your business. How was that going for you so far?
It's doing good. But I feel like I also have another purpose. I'm usually introverted, but I really want, because of the journey and the women that I've met, I really want to talk and help people. Talk to them about the system, getting through it, having a marriage, having kids, having a community that you can relate to, because a lot of times I feel by myself because nobody can really relate to the things I've been through. So I feel myself clinging to people like China. Or like you said, who's my soundboard for this? I don't really have one. You get it? So I would like to create some type of community for women who could talk about not only just being in prison but coming home. To say, okay, hey, you have a felony, but this is how we let's what type of conversation do you have with an employer who asks you? Because had I been prepared for that, I probably would have checked no. I probably would have checked yes and would have worded my crime this way, or let's see what a background check looks like. So you at least know what they looking at.
Yeah.
I don't have that at all. Or what jobs to go for. I don't have that community, and I know it exists. I just don't know where.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you're gonna create it. You're gonna create it.
Yeah.
That's where Shot and EJ is going to be heading.
I think now, depending, because I don't really see many podcasts that has women that like us that have stories to tell, or even where you've been to being in there and then coming home.
Real niche, like it's real niche.
Yeah.
It's like you could really help a lot of people, because where I sympathize for you is because you kind of feel like you're alone in this thing, and it's tough. But if you could be almost like a beacon for people in your same situation, and y'all could all talk to each other, be each other's sounding board, and give sound advice to everybody, it could definitely you could definitely be an asset.
Yeah.
We're gonna work on it,
That's what's up.
We're gonna work on it.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right. Damn.
And with that, I'm clear.
Word, right? So all right, y'all are home. Let's have some fun now. Like, are y'all looking forward to anything? Like, everybody, like, the world is yours at the end of the day, right?
I'm
looking forward to summertime and not
right. About to get hot out, like you about to be outside, right?
I need to use my passport again. Like, I don't. And then what's up with that?
What?
Yeah.
That's the stuff I'm talking about. Parole.
Oh.
Let's talk about parole. Parole is cool. Parole is cool. If you're level 4, you check in every 4 months. They don't really bother you like that. So parole's cool. I don't really have a problem with parole. My thing is traveling. Huh?
I said parole's cool. No curfew.
Yeah, no curfew. My thing was traveling because I've
Did you take your passport? Your passport is void, or
no? I still have it, but you can't. Don't go nowhere.
Go nowhere. Okay.
I can get permission to go somewhere.
You can get permission to go out the country? No.
Yes, I can. My parole officer just told me to let him know where the fuck I'm going.
Out the country, China?
I can go.
I am a
country. Where I'm going?
Right.
I'm coming back.
So for me, I was told I can't go out the country. That's you can't do that. And then if you want to go out the state, you need 30 days and you need a travel pass.
Okay.
Right. So that, that's what I was told.
Travel. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's a thing.
Yeah. So just the check-in aspect. But I know for some people have different levels. Level 4 is like the most lenient. There's level 1 and 2, and some people are in drug programs and got to take drug tests and stuff like that. And
I have a drug program because I had an extensive amount of drugs. So they made me take a mandatory drug program that I have to do on Zoom twice a freaking week, that I would be so irritated that I'm in this freaking program. But I just have to do this.
This is what it is, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It could be worse, but yeah.
How long you on parole for?
Girl, they gave me 5 years parole, but with the 30-30, hopefully maybe 2, maybe a year and a half. It depends.
Oh, because of the 30-30. So the 30-30 is you do 30 days good, they take 30 days off. But y'all probably know that already, right?
No.
No, y'all never been arrested or anything like that, right?
They don't know about this jail.
Okay. Really? So let me ask you, okay, if you met a girl, right? You be saying we having fun. You met a girl and she told you she about to do some time. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Okay.
Going on another date with somebody. No, I'm just joking.
Okay.
Hey, girl, hey, I see.
Yo, that is that I can't lie. Your husband is commendable
Mhm.
because you guys must have had a fantastic first date. Because I don't know. I don't know if I would be able to commit to a
Mhm.
situation where I knew that I'm not going to be with my significant other for a certain amount of time. Like I'm going into it knowing that. So it is commendable, but
He said,
I would just assume like, all right, well, this is the universe telling me I should go in another direction. That's probably what I would think.
so you
What about
wouldn't even like hope, like write her, like tell her, I'll be there. Because let me tell you what people don't know. Letters, forget commissary.
Mhm.
Letters mean a lot when you locked up. To hear your name for a letter, that means a lot. That's letting people know that you got family that love you. That's letting them guards know that they can't mess with you because they got family that's reaching out. And when you don't get them, like I got letters all the time. And that made me feel good. My best friend wrote me every single day. I got a letter every single day. Them letters mean a lot. And it costs nothing but a stamp.
No, absolutely. I get what you're saying. I had a relative that went to prison,
Mhm.
letters and all that, but not a woman that I just went on one date with.
You wouldn't write it. You wouldn't
Yes.
be like, yeah, I'm gonna write you a letter. You
I
just be
don't
like,
feel like I will owe you that much, to be
I
honest with you.
get it. But things lead up to a date. Like we were
Yeah.
taught for a while
Uh,
before the
Yeah,
date.
so you knew him. It wasn't just like he just.
Well, no, I didn't know. Like we talked for like maybe a good 2 weeks before we actually saw each other. So the date was like, But when he told me that, I didn't believe him. I was like, yeah, okay. And then went home and cried myself to sleep. But then he
mm,
really, showed up. But that's, I respect your honesty because a lot of women, I wouldn't. I'll write you. I'll tell you I'll write you. I'm not going to visit.
mm.
I'll write you just to make. I'll put, send you a little note on JPay. There's people I speak to now still through JPay. I keep in contact with a lot of people.
But you know
Yeah,
the importance of knowing that you're loved and
you
knowing that
you need that. You need that a lot because
right.
people, you feel abandoned in there. When your back is against the wall, you don't have that's how you know people on the outside. When your back is against the wall, you have nothing to offer them at all. At
Mhm.
all. And how they treat you when you in jail, that's how you know, because people can forget about you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
People
I
can
carry that guilt a little bit. I have maybe two friends that did some time,
Mhm.
and I I didn't write, I didn't visit, I didn't do anything. I just kind of felt like, all right, they just doing their time, and then they'll come home and be part of society. But it did kind of fracture, you
Mhm.
know, that relationship, you know, and looking at it from the outside looking in, I do carry a little guilt from it. I could have supported a little bit more, but
Mhm.
I wasn't really thinking about it at the time. I
Did you
kind of.
did you guys cut anybody out off because they didn't communicate with you during your time?
Well, you want to go first?
I cut a lot.
that
I cut a lot of people off. Like I cut a lot of people off, especially being in my life. So going through all of that and finding out like 7 out of the 40 people told on my kid's father, and just people in the circumstance. Like when I first came home, like when I bailed out, I didn't talk to nobody on the phone because I was scared to death. Like they had my phone, all my phones tapped for 2 years. Like the conspiracy charge was a 2-year long charge. So they was watching him on audio and video for 2 years. So when I came home, like I was like shook off the phone. Like I didn't even want to. I got a brand new phone and I still wasn't even like trying to call nobody because I didn't even know who I was supposed to be talking to. Like
Mm.
Nah, I'm not fucking with nobody. Everybody is the police to me. Everybody is telling. Nobody can tell me nothing. Like they're like, yo, something is wrong with you. I'm like, man, I don't care. I don't trust no. I don't trust none of y'all. Like I don't know what's going on. So it like kind of made me like paranoid. So I ain't really want to fuck with nobody. Like,
But question: when you went to prison and you were away, was there anybody that you thought would communicate with you that didn't? And it's like, all right, since you didn't reach out to me while I was away, it's like, fuck you. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
main the main one who put me in the game. Like just left me for like that. That's two. Now that's my baby father, and that's you know. Man's supposed to be the man, and you just going because you shook. You shook now because you didn't skated by the skin of your teeth. Like you just didn't get caught up in this one. Like you just got away scot free, but now you like gone, like vanished. No head
Oh,
hold down. You didn't held it down. Oh, let me try to do this from afar or nothing. Like so send a little note. You know where this came from. Like nothing. Crickets.
so he didn't get locked up.
He told.
Wow. Wow.
It was 40
Hey,
other big people, but my main person
so
just
he didn't do no time. He didn't get caught up in this whole thing.
not that person. Just me and my baby father, who was like basically like his main people, like his main soldiers. Like
Mhm. So, all right. So some people would say, I'm just asking a question, but it's like, all right, is there people go by this code of honor, but realistically, is there really any honor in that? Like you guys are not thieves, but it's the phrase of there's no honor amongst thieves. Like, do you really expect?
I just go by real. Like remember, everybody ain't loyal.
Hmm,
So
okay, gotcha. Stray, was there anybody that you expected to communicate with you and keep in touch with you that just didn't? And it's like, all right,
Yeah.
I don't fuck with you no more.
My aunt, she was like my mom. We were very, 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 very close. She even came. Well, I cherished her so much. She was like one of the last people that I had to tell that I was leaving. She came
Hmm.
to court with me, and then I never heard from her. And from what I hear from like my daughter or like some family is that she felt she didn't know me, because we were so close. And to hear, the DA just really made me seem like I was some I don't know.
fire.
Yeah.
The DA went in, and she really took it personal. But we were so close that I felt like she abandoned me, because regardless of how you felt, my mother felt upset. I told you it was disappointment all around. My daughter, you know what I'm saying? So for you to feel the way you feel, but still know where I am, you couldn't put that. You could have even wrote that in a letter. I'm disappointed, but I love you. You know what I'm saying? My father came to see me and told me, I'm disappointed, but I love you. So I haven't heard from her to this day. And this is my aunt, my mother's sister. She raised me,
Have you
and
reached out to her?
I can't.
Why?
Because I can't see. But I have nieces, and I can't see myself knowing that my niece is in a situation, and then she doesn't. My aunt really doesn't know about prison, so you're gonna go by what you see on TV. You think the worst. Oh my gosh, my niece is there, and you don't reach out. To me,
So you think that your reality is that she cut you off, but you really haven't spoken to her, you haven't reached out to her lately. And what I'm really kind of seeing is that
wait, when I was there, okay. Sorry. So you
no,
need to understand. In order to accept a phone call, right, from someone in prison, you're to my prison, not county, prison. You have to accept your phone to allow those phone calls. You have to sign up because when you go to prison, you write a list of people you're going to be calling, and it has to be registered.
yeah,
He never accepted the registration,
gotcha.
so I couldn't even call her.
Right.
You get
Now,
it?
now that you're home, have you reached out to her?
No,
Is
no.
that your guilt eating you and you feel like it's something, or do you have you thought about it? Have you thought about calling her?
I thought about it, and then as
Mhm.
I thought about it, I thought about it
Right.
because I feel like yes, I was wrong. Yet, but at the end of the day, again, I'm in a situation where I can't do nothing. So I'm already down. So
Yeah.
to make me feel worse, my ace, she was my go-to.
Right.
You don't reach out.
Yeah.
You don't know
I
what's going on. You
What is the
get
difference between conditional love and unconditional love, right?
her love. I've realized now her love is conditional.
Right.
well, you don't know. That doesn't mean just because you guys are not communicating doesn't mean she doesn't love you. But
With conditions.
all right, so no.
With conditions.
Now, she could love you, but she's not loving you the way you want her to love you. You understand what I'm saying? Like you want her to express her love in a certain way, but she may still love you, but she's loving you from afar, right? And you could you said that
No, that's
she
not
was
true. I'm gonna tell you
you
why.
said she was your ace, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you why it's a difference. Because you could love someone from afar and not in an environment where it's fucked up. You don't know it's jail. It's
Uh,
not like, oh, she's in Atlanta and I'm loving her from afar. This person is in jail. 4 walls. It's nothing she can do.
I
And there are some parts where people are in a situation where they need to hear or have some type of love or encouragement to survive a situation.
I I get it. I I get it, but everybody doesn't understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
From her perspective, it could be that this is my niece. I'm thinking she's straight laced. I don't know she's doing any other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
now I realize that she's a different person. The you know
Mm-hmm.
the one that the woman that I thought she was, or the the niece that I thought she was, she's something totally different,
That's
right?
fair.
And I maybe I don't know your aunt, but maybe she doesn't subscribe to that type of lifestyle. She doesn't jive with any of that shit. So she like, yo, all right, I'll I'll walk you down and you going in and whatever, but I'm not with the some people not with the jail shit. They ain't
So
gonna do the
now,
business. They like, yo, I don't even have those type of people in my life, type of like, but I love my niece, but yo,
I don't even think it's that
I
deep.
I I
you don't?
I think
I
it is
don't
that
even
deep.
think it's that deep. I think like me being in that situation, I don't even think about it. Like some people don't know. Some people don't know. Like, yo, they support it. Like with my peoples, I wrote letters. I don't think I went to court or nothing like that. But it's like when they were there, like I don't know. I don't know if they even want to hear from me. I don't know. But when I'm home, when they come home, just holler at me and we'll just be
No.
regular.
Okay, so now I'm going to address you and you. When you say some people don't know, again, I'm the first in my generation to have been to prison. But
Okay.
my aunt's generation, she's, you know, we had
Shatas.
I mean, not like that, but you know, ain't nobody perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody is perfect. You are you know, they were outside in the 80s, you know? So you're not you oh my God, you're not clutching your pearls. I have family.
Like I said, it's not that serious. It's not clutching your pearls, but it's like, I don't know. Like when she ready,
but I know I've reached out. I would say to my daughter, yo, go to her house and let her know that I'm trying to. And it'll be like, oh, well, I don't know how to set up the registration for my phone. Oh, I don't want to put my card information.
Pass the phone. Coming home.
Mm-hmm.
What have the attempts been like?
No, I haven't seen her.
No, on your end. Have you sent your daughter to go? Have you rang her bell?
No.
Just calls, nothing?
Nothing.
You should.
Nothing.
You should. You should just ring her bell and just go and sit on her table.
No.
So
drink some tea and just talk.
You don't think the onus is on you?
I didn't do nothing to you. What I did, I paid my time.
Yeah.
And paid for what I've done.
Right.
I've been through, I didn't bring nobody down with me. Again, I'm a lone person. When I have done anything, I did it by myself. I didn't bring nobody with me. So the only thing you're upset with me about is your disappointment in me. You mad at me for what I did to myself.
I get you.
Yeah. A lot, right? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He's mad at you for what you did to yourself. Right. As you would be disappointed in your children and what if they, you know, like some people aren't really equipped emotionally to deal with everything, you know? And same way you want grace from her, you also have to give her a little grace for not being emotionally equipped to really deal with you coming home.
So my thing is, I don't think it's that deep. Yeah, it's not that deep. I just can't trust her again in like I said, when you in jail, just like said, and your back is against the wall. No, their back is against the wall. What he's saying over there in the corner? Because I want to know what he said. I feel like
no, I don't know either. What do you say?
When your back is against the wall and your people leave you, you know, I could be mad at you but still support you. I got a kid. My daughter make dumb decisions every day, but I ain't gonna leave you out here. Because now I can't trust you. So you only love me when I'm doing good. You only love me when I'm not in trouble. You only conditional.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. And that's why China got trust issues. She got trust issues. She's been having them the whole time we was in there. I'm trying to help her to, you know, trust people and love people. But I understand what she said.
Because I know unconditional love. Like, that's what I show. My love is unconditional.
Got you.
Even though, like, even with Shock, like, Shock helped me. I mean, it wasn't enough time, but even before I got to Shock, I was already working on forgiveness. Like, forgiveness plays a major part in my life, like, because I can hold a grudge till RIP, motherfucker.
Oh, like that?
Like, I had to learn to, like, not be like that, even with this, in this case with my baby father. Like, you know, sometimes you ask God for certain things, like, you know, please remove this person from my life, because I did ask him to. It's unfortunate that I had to go to prison for that nail to be in the coffin like that, but that's what happened, unfortunately. But you know, during that situation, like, even though he left me for dead and I had to do all of that time and I was facing 5 years, like, when he went away, like, he's doing 12 to 16 now, when he could have just turned himself in and got less time when I had asked him to do it for me, so I didn't have to go away for much time. But God dealt with him already, and God's dealing with him. Like, he's going through it. He have me, number one. Like, I'm his everything. Like, I can read the JPays now, and they're just going, because, you know, he just knows that I was the one. Like, I was your rider. Like, I was loyal to you. You did all type of bullshit to me, but I still stood tall. And even after this, when you left me for dead, I still stood tall. I could have sung like a canary, but I'm not set up that way. I'm not built like that. So I sat down, and he can't do nothing but respect it. Like, you can't stop me from living my life. Like, you can't say anything about if I do go and have another kid with somebody else. Like, you messed up, you fucked that package up. So now it's like you got to deal with that. But I don't owe you anything. I'm not obligated to you or anybody else. Like, I could just move now.
China, do you feel like you can have a relationship with like a square dude, like a regular dude that don't got nothing? Like, you feel like
A complete
That's a
square.
great question.
pardon?
What's a square?
Square, like
Like a
never,
reg-
never,
like-
never had no cuffs on him.
Yeah.
Never, don't know nothing about upstate. Don't know nothing. Like, you
He
gotta
don't
teach him.
hustle. He got a 9 to 5, just regular dude.
I mean, I could do regular. Like,
Right.
I'm very adaptable. Like, I'm very simple too. I'm very easy to please. Like,
Yeah.
so it's not hard. It's just the fact that like I'm an energy person. Like, I'm big on energies and like spirits, and like even when I came home, like I just don't want certain, like I'm not about to let you go inside of me. Like, I'm not having sex. I'm not doing any of these things, like, because I just, if it's for me, it's for me. If it's not, it's not. And I just know that a lot of this is just not for me. So I'm just not even wasting my time right now.
Something you said earlier, going back, you said that you were you said that you were always younger than everybody in your class. Were you skipped, or you were
No,
just
I guess I
It's
started
mature.
when I was 4 because my birthday is in November.
on your birthday? Okay, all right, okay, all right. It seemed like you know how to move in the world. You know, I got faith in you. You'll like speaking to you, you'll figure this thing out. This is just a bump in the road. And Estrella, like
Excuse me, it's Estrella.
Estrella, pardon me.
Yes, like second
Jay,
time,
about
third
the
time.
line, about the hairline
Sorry.
and about the skincare and everything like that. Why don't you lean into your story with that?
I'm not proud of it.
You gotta accept it though.
You know,
The act in shop. I used to tell her, like, girl, own your shit. We here. We did it.
Yeah, we
did it.
here.
Conquered it. We over it. We passed it. This is how we gotta do what we doing right now. Like, this is what it is. Like,
so
Everybody shit stink. Yo, I would have handcuffs. Yo, my bottle would be orange. I'd have handcuffs on my shit. That's just to be, yo, lean into your shit, yo. Like, fuck it. Like, come on now. It's your story. Own it. It's you. Everybody shit stink. Everybody got some shit about. Yo, come on.
I'm working on that.
Yeah.
I'm working on being able to stand tall
Right.
in what I did. I'm not proud of that. Not saying that, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
You have a West Indian background?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why?
No, I was just asking because sometimes like their background is a little bit more stricter and a little bit more, but you really, really hold yourself to such a high standard, which is
Oh my god. No, it is
amazing. which you should. Every human should. Every human should hold themselves to the higher standard. And you're beating yourself up so much.
I hear that a lot. I hear it.
Well, you're hearing it from someone who's only spoken to you for what, a couple of hours.
Yeah,
You're beating yourself up so much that
I know.
you know.
But that's why we need some type of community. The only people
Absolutely.
that I have is China and my brother-in-law, really, that I can really talk to. You know what's so funny? The whole time that I was doing this court, I kept praying to God to not go to jail. And my brother-in-law, he said something. He said, prepare for it. Prepare for it. Prepare. So
Mentally, everything. What you doing?
I was
doing push-ups and all that? Or what you doing?
no, just mentally prepare, because even though you're praying for one thing, you have to prepare for the worst.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I originally got my paper, like when I got arrested, when I got arrested, And you know, when you go to the county, you get your paper like from the court, like all your charges and whatever. So when I was reading my paper and it said like 141 counts of this, 172 counts of this, and all this stuff. So I was reading this shit and I seen Jane Doe, John Doe, 31, 32, 33, 34, all of these Jane and John Does. And I'm just reading this and I'm just like A1 and A2. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm going to jail forever. This is all I kept saying. Like, I'm like, they're going to keep me here for 20 fucking years. Like, I'm just thinking football numbers. Like, that's all I'm thinking in my head. But I'm not even thinking like nothing else. I'm thinking like, yo, I'm really about to go to jail. Like, this is thinking like, fuck jail. Like, I'm about to go to prison. Like,
when you hear the gate, right? The first time you heard the gate slam.
Well, so when they come for my baby father, they come like the military, like SWAT, like they come with AK-47s and all type of shit because he's a runner and he always is, you know, he likes to play with hammers and stuff. So they come for him crazy. So when they came for me, they came like
Question.
U.S. Marshals and all freaking type of shit.
Dang.
Is he from Lakeview
Like,
also?
I'm like, ain't none of this. Ain't no running. I'm not running. I don't run.
Huh?
So take me.
Is he from Lakeview also?
No, he's from Roosevelt.
From the Val. Any of your co-defendants from Lakeview?
There's so many of them.
Did
Perhaps.
anybody snitch on you from Lakeview?
She got snitched on for sure.
Listen, you know.
Huh?
We'll leave that for a later.
Why you ain't act that when I went to the bathroom?
But you don't want to show your face on camera while asking those questions.
You got an A1?
I'm just curious. I'm curious to know.
A1 and A2.
Huh?
You want A1?
A1 and A2.
Wow.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Yeah.
What does that mean?
The highest.
Felony, the highest, the A1, A2. That's like a murderer.
Bitch,
No, like
The
A1.
highest what?
Listen.
The
Okay,
highest, the
so
highest
I
felony.
take the 5 years was because so after my baby father ran or whatever, and after I didn't tell nobody, I wasn't giving no information or whatever, they was like, this is your only offer, because you know you usually get 3 offers, right? Like that's what they always say, you get 3 offers, like don't take the first one, take the second one or whatever. I only had 1 offer. They told me to take this 5 years or take it to trial. If I would have took it to trial, I would have been facing 8 to 20 years. So I took 5 years.
Can I ask you a question too? It's unrelated. What does it mean when you blow trial?
When you blow trial is I would have done. So if I would have said, okay, I'm gonna take this to trial and I'm not taking this 5 years and I'm gonna take it to trial, all of the evidence they had against me, that listening to my phone calls for 2 years, watching me on video for 2 years, raiding my crib, getting all of this money and all of these drugs that they found, all of that. Honey, I didn't blew trial. You blew it.
Got you. Okay. Blew it means
you blew it.
Fucked up. Right. Okay. All right.
No
gotcha.
I'm really sitting here asking these questions like I don't know nothing about court or jail.
I've been to traffic court. I got tickets and shit.
Even if you know what the terminology is, everybody doesn't know.
I heard it in songs and shit. Like I never heard.
You have to ask the questions. Nobody knows.
Yeah, they be like, "Oh, I didn't do it. I wasn't there. Fuck out of here. You don't got the evidence. You know, give me a felony exam, X, Y, and Z." And now all of a sudden you didn't blue trial, knowing damn well you didn't did that, knowing damn well you was there, and your fucking fingerprints is on that fucking.
Right. You fucked up.
I was guilty.
See, I didn't even know about the 3 offers. I didn't know about the 3 offers. So the first offer, they're heavy-handed, right? The second offer is your median offer, because the third, now they got you by the balls, right?
First one they go, it's all the way up, like it's high, maxed
up, like trumped up, right?
Go down. But the third one, they might go back up. So usually it's good for you to take that second offer.
The second one, it makes sense, yeah. Because if you do too much, that third one, you're fucked.
The third one could be all the way back up past what they said the first time.
Right.
Or it go down. But that's like, yeah, so they usually say take your second offer. Don't.
Well, everybody, I never had
They offered me 3 years if my baby father would have went in. They needed him to go in. I was going to have him walk in with the lawyer, so he would have got probably like 7 to 10 years. But it's because he was running and they had to go to another state to get him. So now he got trafficking out of state and leader of a drug ring, all type of these other charges. So they gave him 12 to 16 years instead of getting like 7 to 10.
I never had any other offers. I just had that DA said 4 to 12 years. And it wasn't until I was going to this company called Exodus. They like have court advocates. A court advocate came, to court with me and spoke. He passed away a week after he was able to get me a 1 to 3. He came to court with me, spoke to the DA, and the DA was able to bring it down for 1 to 3. I never had 4 to 12. It was 4 to 12 the entire time until that court advocate came with me and spoke for me to the DA, because he wouldn't budge at all. And those not even numbers that 4 to 12, 4 to 12, and it
sounds crazy.
Yeah. And it wasn't even like there was somebody equivalent that they was offering 1 to 3, and they was giving me 4 to 12 years. So, yeah. Yeah. So everybody don't get offers.
I still want to know who's snitching in Lakeview though.
But
definitely a snitch in Lakeview.
Huh?
It's definitely a snitch in Lakeview.
Yeah.
It's a snitches around here, okay?
Yeah, I bet. So China, you're single. Are you all the way on the other side? Are you looking for a girlfriend or are you looking for a boyfriend?
I'm not looking.
No?
I hope he or she comes fine. Actually, I'm not gonna be with a woman. Like, I know that I love women, but I'm not gonna be with a woman. Like, I might have like a girlfriend or something like that on the side, but I'm gonna be with a man.
Okay. And are you actively dating, or are you like maybe on some sites, some apps, or like are you trying to meet guys?
I do stream all day, daily on Super Live. That's my main streaming platform. So if anybody wants to see me, they can see me on that app.
Give the information. Yeah. You heard of Super Live?
I never heard of Super Live. No.
Download it.
I'm on that all day.
I'm on it all day. I am, because I get paid for streaming, so I'm like,
that's what's up. Okay.
I'm a popular streamer on the app.
Oh shit.
Okay. Super Live. Okay.
Yeah, and you might, see some things. Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. The app is
that
a little,
part of the game.
Okay.
It's a little crazy, but
So it's like a OnlyFans.
Not really. Something like it. Not really though.
Okay.
Trying to.
She's about to go get her Bible.
All right. We'll put your. We will put your details.
Your Bible, girl.
Get her to try to.
We'll put the details in the show, the description of the show notes. So
get your Bible.
you.
I'll be praying for her.
Girl, you be seeing me. You see what's happening on here. You know what's happening.
So, Straya, you talked about the strain in your relationship. Are we seeking counsel, or are we looking to speak to a mediator or anything like that in your situation?
Right now, I'm just working on myself, because you can't. You have to be whole to be together with someone. So I know I have my things, just like you guys said. I'm hard on myself, and I'm my own worst critic and everything. So I have to work on that, and then I can see how we can move forward. God willing,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I sympathize with you. I would feel like that too. Honestly, you said you were a middle child, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so me too. So it's kind of like, you're in between everything, and but you got to understand equity, and you got to understand what you meant to those people before you went in, and what you meant to society. Only a little while that you were gone.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Well, also one thing that I would say, and one thing that I noticed is that no, yeah, I'm trying to shoot you, Bell, but every time I bring up your husband, you bring up your other relatives, and I think you should separate that relationship as far as the hierarchy above all the other relatives.
Well, I get it, right? Because the king of the house, like the king,
It
right?
don't got nothing to do with king. I'm just saying it's a different
So,
type of relationship because every time we talk about the relationship with your husband, you
mhm,
mention your relationships with other relatives where it should be different. It's a different relationship.
okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I notice when we're speaking.
Yeah.
So separate that. And the relationship you have with your mother, your father, your aunt, it's different with that person that you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with. So I think that needs special dedication. Don't put it in the pile with every other relationship.
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand. I think I bulked that in because I didn't want it to be specifically focused on, my
It
relationship.
needs to be. It needs. Well, it
No,
it
I
kind
didn't
of.
want like the conversation to be,
I get you. I
yeah.
get you. I get
But
you.
I understand. I mean, you guys are men, so I mean, I don't know how men think or what they would do or what you would do if your wife came home from. I take fault. I know that
No,
my.
I'm not saying you're at fault because as a man, you have to take accountability. If he said he's riding,
Mhm,
he made that decision fully aware of what's going on, and he has to ride with that, right?
right.
But in the interim, when it's all done with, even if we have to start brand new and go on a new first date,
Mhm,
that's what needs to be done so we can relearn each other and
mhm.
come to a whole new normal. We'll do that.
that's a
And
good
maybe you should
idea.
do that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. How do you do that? But
Yeah,
how? So it's just a matter of working on.
you gotta get to that mindset of where you were before you got that call from the DA,
Mhm.
because that shit is over.
Well, that's easier said than done
Of
because that's
course,
that's a defining moment in her life.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just saying words, but
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying that if you want to know how to get it done, that's where it's gonna have to be.
Well,
You're
that's
gonna
why
have to
you
get
have
to
to
where
work.
you know what I mean? You went and picked out your outfit and you went and got your hair done and all that.
Mhm,
Before that DA called and rocked your whole life, you
mhm.
have to find that moment and then get yourself back there.
Yeah, and I think that's why I have to work on myself
Right.
to become, because I don't know who that person is or what they, and then be even before I got the call, I'm a I'm a different person in general. So I just gotta figure out what the new Australia looks like.
Understandable, but
Yeah.
like, all right. So, uh, what he did is commendable, but because like I said, that if it was me, it probably would have went a different way.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying I'm a bad person,
You're
but
not,
he's a
right?
he's a good person for doing what he for
Yeah.
being there, and you know
You got a real one.
you got a real one. So
And he
and
fuck with you for
and
real.
and don't take that for granted because I'm not sure if you'll find a realer one. Now there's possibility it's possibly somebody that might be better, but there's not gonna you already in a good space. You got a good person.
Right, but you don't live in that anymore. You move on from that. It's not, oh, because that court and the prison and the bid, that's not a part of our relationship anymore.
Mhm.
We have to move on from that, not
And you
living
think
still in
you
that
think he's the
space.
one stuck there?
At times, yeah, it could. I don't know. I don't have the answers, but I know that we never not had that. We've
We
never not,
no nobody has the answers,
right.
but we all can do the work. And
Yes.
don't not do the work. Don't give up and not do the work. At least try to do the work and not live with regrets. At least do that.
That's nice to hear. That's
Yeah.
nice to hear.
Hey.
I think we're good right now.
Yeah. We want to thank you ladies for hanging out with us, man. Very, very good conversation.
Amazing.
We appreciate you guys telling your story and being as transparent as you were. Please let the people know where they can find you, your businesses, anything you want to promote, where they could just, if they resonated with your story and they just want to reach out to you guys, if they're in the same situation. And I feel like if you say there's not a community, that means the universe is telling you to build it. So you should build it. You guys together can build it.
Yeah.
But where can they find you? Anyone who wants, Stray, if you want to go first. And then
Company, EAND, the word company.co. I sell organic hair and skincare products, soaps, oils, hair gels. I make everything. Everything's organic, natural, and affordable.
Gotcha. All right. China?
You can find me on Super Live streaming.
Super live.
At Fine China is my screening. So I'm the only Fine China on the app. So you'll find.
Okay.
I'll come back and post my link in it.
Okay. Yeah. If you could just send that over, we'll put it in the show notes and we'll let everybody know.
Okay.
You said
Oh
yeah.
In the podcast.
Stray, tell them about the podcast also.
Shout out to Ian J.
It's in the works. We're working on it. I wanted to kind of come to the studio to kind of get a feel of what y'all have going on and how it works. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Again, like we told everybody at the beginning, this is the first time these ladies are on the platform. It probably will not be the last. And we'll do this in person in the future. But just give them a brief idea. Like you guys, you were gonna do. You got a podcast on the horizon, correct?
We are working on just talking about us, again, how we were before prison, in prison, and after, and just moving on and trying to adapt. She has children, she has young kids. I have an older child. I'm married, she's single. She don't know if she like guys or girls. Just talking. But what's more important now, talking to you, what I feel like there's a need for, just life after prison with the background check, and because I need help in that. When, next time I meet y'all, I'll tell y'all what happened with that job.
Okay, for sure.
We rooting for you though.
Yeah, for sure.
What they say, but there's definitely a need for or even a list of jobs that hire felons.
Yeah.
Or the conversation that you have when you're asked about your crime, because China's upfront with it. Me, I'm not. So there's a difference.
Yeah. That's how we were in there. You was the quiet one, and I said, see, I'm you turned up. You are the quiet me. I am you. I don't care. I'm saying what I want to say. Like,
either way, there's a conversation that needs to be had about it, because somebody needs the resource to know which direction to go. So that's why you have to do it. All right.
Yeah.
White Star GB.
Yo,
how do we feel about the James Ownby?
I'm digging it, man. It's a smooth, but it pack a little punch to it.
It does.
Yeah. Cool.
Like, it's that flavor's there.
Yeah.
Definitely that.
You got Corey
caramel.
wavy.
Yeah, caramel, that vanilla, pretty solid joint. And yeah. If it's a little sweet,
Yeah, it's a little.
but
Pause.
it's a little kind of unassuming. It'll come out really, really sweet, pause, and then it'll, kind of draw it back a little bit. But James Owensby, 47 ABV, 94 proof. How much for a 750 mil?
45.
45 for a 750 mil. Pick it up at your local wine and spirits. And if you guys have tried this one, let us know how you think it fared and see if we were on point with it. All right. And with that, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Cigars and Whiskey podcast. If you don't follow us on Instagram, please do at Cigars Whiskey. That's Cigars with an S, Whiskey. Also, if you have any questions, comments, recommendations, you want to recommend a cigar, spirit, or even a topic, by all means, shoot us over an email or shoot us over a DM on Instagram. If you have a product or service and you want to sponsor, you want to promote it on the show, shoot us over an email, podcast@cigarswhiskey.com. Again, podcast@cigarswhiskey.com. And with that,
to Cigargle and Michelle Rose. Absolutely.
I'm sorry about that. All right. We want to give a good shout out to our sponsors, Cigargle. Basically, yeah, this product is if you struggle with cigar breath, of course, if you smoke cigars, it's hard to get it out of your mouth. This actually eliminates cigar breath in one rinse. All right. And also shout out to Moods by Michelle Rose, the best smelling candles on the market. We have a signature scent, which is tobacco vanilla, the Cigars and Whiskey. We did a collaboration with them. So if you check out her website at moodsbymichellerose.com, pick yourself up a candle. We appreciate the support. All right. And with that, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. We will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Bye. Are we off?